I've said this countless times, but out of any other genre of music, I think I gravitate to hip-hop and rap the most. Much more than other genres. One of the most prominent artists in hip-hop that primarily served for me as an example, as an introduction to the genre, is Eminem. Once I got acquainted and found artists I liked from the genre, I ended up moving on. Unfortunately, for a lot of other people, they still worship this man like he doesn't make some of the worst music I've ever heard. Eminem is a rapper who happens to be white, from the suburbs of outside of Detroit. More accurately, Warren.
The truth is, I'm about as much from Detroit as you are. I'm racking up points, shit, cat, I'm scoring. You ain't a true tiger, liar, you from Warren.
He started rapping in the late 80s and early 90s, but ended up changing his sound around 1995 with Infinite, and made the Slim Shady EP in 1997 before almost calling it quits. Until he met Dr. Dre, that is.
Holy shit, I just shit myself.
Dre revitalized his career and took him to new heights not even he had thought possible. Eminem was the biggest white rapper, the biggest rapper in America, overseas. He became the most popular rapper in the history of the genre in the entire world. I found Eminem how I imagine most other people my age found him, through Lose Yourself when I was about 11 years old. I was like, wow, this guy is so cool, he's the GOAT. I then found Rap God Until I Collapsed, and that was all I listened to until about 2017. Then 14-year-old me decided to listen to Revival the night that it dropped, and I was shocked by the noises coming out of my headphones. Was this something the greatest rapper of all time would make? Fuck no. Someone in the background decided this would be a good way for them to make money while making a faux political stance most people could agree with on the surface. I think Spectrum Pulse said it best.
The greatest rapper in the world should have the ability to overrule his handlers and deliver all fire.
When I temporarily gave up on rap until 2018, I had no desire to listen to Eminem anymore. I listened to Brockhampton, Tyler the Creator, Death Grips, Denzel Curry, J.I.D., Kendrick Lamar. It was only around the summer of 2019 when I decided I would explore the genre as a whole, when I listened to more rap albums than I can count, when I realized how little of the genre Eminem occupied that he actually represented. There was a whole world of great music out there that I never looked into, because I got comfortable listening to the same mediocrity over and over again. I've got a long list of plot points we're going to go over today, fellas, and contrary to other YouTubers who make videos about people hitting Eminem but don't actually say it, I'm putting it out there. I do not like Eminem. Eminem is white and occupies a genre that white people don't prominently occupy, so white America and people who are ignorant to the intricacies of hip-hop see him and go, wow, he's just like me for real, and they see a similarity and run with it. Because of the simple fact that Eminem is white, he's able to transcend boundaries black artists can only wish. Eminem is able to sell so much and appeal to this demographic simply because his race. He even says it on White America. If Shady was black, Shady would have sold half. And let's not even get ahead of ourselves. If you even want to play the white card, he's not even the best white rapper. Here, I'll do a quick montage with everyone who's better. Skip to the timestamp if you don't care. Rapid fire, sudden death, here we go. Action Bronson, Aesop Rock, Al Divino, Bareface, Ben Beal, Brother Ali, Cage, Crime Apple, Chris Orrick, Code 9, Copyright, Danielson, LP, Esoteric, Evidence, Exile, Felly, Ill Bill, Joba, John Wayne, Kill Bill the Rapper, No, Lee Scott, Lil Ugly, Main Logic, Mac Miller, Matt Champion, Nick Caution, Paul Wall, Puya, Ari the Rugged Man, Rav, Rob Sonic, Samsa, Square, Slow Tie Slug, Suicide Boys, The Alchemist, Verbal Kent, Vinny Pads, Wiki, Your Old Drew, and Zach De La Roca are all better white rappers than Eminem. And yes, some of them might not necessarily be 100% white, or whatever, but I don't really care about specifics here. I'm trying to put into context how every time you stand to criticize people like me hating his race, you gloss over masses of rappers who are white. It's sad seeing the amount of exposure he gets making music racists would turn up to, whereas non-white artists with true talent lack any kind of real exposure at all. This white man who does nothing to push the art form forward raps fast. These kids will complain about music made by black rappers and complain they can't understand any words, but will jerk off to someone talking at 100 words a second. Anyone can rap fast if you practice the words. Let's just skip over the term mumble rapper because that's a fucking racist code if I've ever seen one. Fuck anyone who calls it mumble rap or people mumble rappers. Throwing a designation and a label on them is akin to something no one wants. To me, it's much more impressive to do something that few or none have done before. Fast rapping is so overdone. For example, I fucking hate Playboi Carti's Whole Lotta Red, but to say that hasn't had any influence in the underground rap plug-and-B scene in the year and a half it's been out is just wrong. Playboi Carti may be someone I don't entirely fuck with, but he's pioneered that to an extent with Whole Lotta Red, whereas Eminem and the Eminem clones rehash a moment. They constantly rap fast and use stale and boring production. I'd find it so much more interesting if someone can rap without drums, for example. Drums and percussion keep people on beat, so when I hear someone like Mock Homie, Westside Gun, or Rock Marciano rap without drums, it's incredible to hear how they keep their pace, change their flows, and stay on beat effortlessly. Seriously, what is the point of rapping fast? To exercise your vocal cords? Practice rapping with weights over your chest like how Black Thought learned how to do circular breathing, to the point of doing a 10-minute freestyle without sounding off-key, off-beat, letting a voice crack and sounding natural and perfect over the beat. If you're gonna tell me, oh buddy, it's all about the lyrics, bro, which song? Which song? Fuck it, I'll take Godzilla apart. Let's analyze the fast rapping parts of the song for a second. Godzilla's last verse, where Eminem apparently breaks the record Rap God previously set, has lines like, "You're bringing the killer within me out of me. You don't want to be the enemy of the demon who entered me and be on the receiving end of me. What a stupidity it'd be. Every bit of me is the epitome of a spitter. When I'm in the vicinity, motherfuckers, you better duck or you finna be dead in the minute you run into me. 100% of you is 1/5% of me. I'm about to fucking finish you, bitch. I'm unfadable. You want to battle? I'm available. Blowing up like an inflatable. Undebatable, unavoidable. I'm unevadable. I'm on the toilet bowl. I got a trailer full of money and I'm paid in full. I'm not afraid to pull a... Like, what did he even say there? Oh, I'm a better rapper than you. I hate you. I'll kill you.
In my opinion, you're worthless.
You failed at songwriting when you tried to make this a math equation. Slow down and talk about something with actual substance. Be vulnerable on a song. And take away the corny punchlines. This is embarrassing. I wrote a better song for my chemistry class when I was 15. And shout out to you if you know that song, you're a real one. That goes for every Eminem clone, except maybe half of Logic when he's actually writing a good song. Eminem likes to self-insert, and his ego drives him to make himself and everyone around him think he's the best rapper of all time. He has the nerve to think he's one of the best rapper producers, when people like LP, MF Doom, Evidence, A$AP Rock, No, Q-Tip, RZA, and Kanye West exist. I don't care about his technical ability and how he flows, and the music is terrible, and I have no drive to listen to it. Eminem is not on any top 5 or any top 10 list for me, and probably not even a top 50. I guarantee there are at least 50 rappers I'd rather listen to than Eminem. I look at someone with an Eminem on a top 10 list and I go, oh, I bet they haven't explored the genre that much. A top 10 for me would be people I think make the best music, people I listen to the most, while taking rapping ability to account, something that Eminem only focuses one half on. In an interview he did with King Crooked, the one I used for that clip earlier, he makes it seem as if you have to sacrifice technical ability of rapping to make a good song, as if it's one or the other. People have been doing this for decades. Your mentors have been doing this for decades. How hard is it for you to understand this? I think his biggest problem lyric-wise, which I said earlier, are corny lines, which stem from punchlines. Eminem has never been a good punchline rapper, and we saw this style of rapping with him become more and more prevalent with his career from Revival onward. It was almost as if he forgot how to rap. For the next section of this video, I'll be reading what I think are his worst lyrics. I'm only going to focus on everything after MMLP 2 because while there are bad lyrics in every release for that, oh my god, of course there are. Revival onward has some of the worst bars I've ever heard. Bar none. And no pun intended. Skip ahead to the timestamp on screen if you don't want to hear me read horrible lines. I'm just going to choose a few sections here for the rest of this segment, so we're not here all day, even though you'll probably be here for a couple minutes. Here we go. And I started from the bottom, like a snowman. Ground up, like round chuck, and still put hands on you. Staying wound up is how I spend time. Sucker free, confidence high, such a breeze when I pen rhymes. I just got that air about me, like wind chimes. Another day in the life, used to have to scrape to get by, yeah. Now my community's gated and I made it and my neighbors say hi. I'm giving them pounds, I'm upscale now, guess it means I'm way in the sky. I'm skinning her hide like an Indian tribe. It's a chess match. She's on his back like a jetpack. She's kept track of all his internet chats, and guess who just happens to be moving on to the next? Actually, just shit on my last chick, and she has what my ex lacks. Knife in hand says their relationship's hanging by a strand, so she's been on the web lately. Says maybe she'll be my Gwen Stacy to spite her man. Screw it, I'm lit, and that attitude I blew up on quick. That's why they call me Firecracker. You barely leave your house, cause you're always stuck at your pad. It's stationary. Like she thinks I'm dumb. Grabs the crown of my dick and blows me to kingdom come. You better be strapped with a Derringer, or be Captain America like Steve Rogers. This love triangle left us in a wreck. Tangled. I'm looking at your tight rear like a sightseer. Your booty is heavy duty like diarrhea. But you must be token if you think you're taking over my quarters. You should be up in the sky, girl. You're so fucking fly, you belong in the Mile High Club. Since I'm manure, she's a sewer. And this time, this piece of shit's running through her. I just bodied the beat, so that hole must have been dug. Cause it just died, like food coloring does. While I shred MCs like cheddar cheese, that's just the thoroughbred in me, ain't a better breed. My dog thinks so too, look at my pedigree. And then he has the ad-lib roof. Cause you're in a slurring state. I'm a 10, you're an 8. What the fuck is half the shit you're listening to? Do you have any idea how much I hate this choppy flow? Everyone copies though, probably no. Get this fucking audio out my audio. Adios. I can see why people like Lil Yachty, but not me though. Shout out to all my colorblind people, each and every one of y'all. If you call a fire engine green, aquamarine, or you think water is pink, dog, that's a date. Looks like an olive to me. Look, there's an apple. No, it's not, it's a peach. You say we're cut from the same cloth, but I guess you fabricate, eh? You bring more men than the latter-day saints. Oh yeah, and one more thing I want to mention is your one dimension. I'm a monkey wrench and I can flunk detention, and I love contentions, so welcome to the gun convention? Muscles flexing, gotta strut like a front suspension, and you just stuck the key up in the ignition and gave me enough gas to flood my engine. Maybe I just don't know when to turn around and walk away, but all the hate, I call it walk on Watergate. Call it a trap cause it's a total setup. Hoping that you rappers fall in that. When rap needed it most, I was a wing and a prayer. A beacon of hope put a bird in the air. Oh, it's springtime. Time for you to have a fling like a slingshot. Like too large a peg and too small a hole. But she cheats and I catch her like the common cold. Last time I broke her collarbone, she's intolerable. We're an unlikely pair, like two different Nike Airs. But I'm the same size she wears, Jordans. So I think we're soulmates though. But as soon as I ask to hit, it's like she grabs a switch and turns me over my knee because my ass is whipped. I got her back, but I'm spineless. But if this is actually happening, suck her for pain. I'm stuck in this radioactive pattern. But her by her motherfucking hair is all I imagine dragon. I have an ear infection and I can't finger it out. My dick's an acronym because it stands for you. I'm going in like the red roof. You don't like it? Eat a cock till your jaw breaks. Call it caught between a rock and a hard place. Like a Sasquatch in a crawl space cause you're watching your heart race like your Scarface. In a car chase with the cops or an arcade. Stuck inside of a Mario Kart race, ducking saw blades at a stop and start pace. What I'm trying to say is I'm driving them all crazy. Bitch, I can make orange rhyme with banana. Boranana. Eating pork rinds, sword fighting in pajamas. At the crib playing Fortnite with your grandma. But I'm more like a 4-5 with a grammar. About to show you why your 5 favorite rappers can't touch this. That's a lie, by the way, but fucking whatever. But before I get the hammer, I should warn you I'm Thor-like in this manner. God, that's all I can stomach right now. Oh man. Let's talk about subject matter, shall we? Since I read a bunch of lyrics off anyway. I think Eminem has songs where it's like, oh, that's a cool concept, or oh, that's an interesting story, but it always ends with him self-praising, being egotistical, or killing the other person. Really? He stands out here telling me, oh, he's changed. He's changed his sound. He's more mature now. He's this, he's that. No one mature puts out fact. No one mature puts out those kind of nights. No one mature writes the lines in tone deaf that I read earlier. No one mature goes, ha, you just don't get my music, do you? Woe is me, if you don't understand my music, you're retarded. No one mature harps on a beef from 4 years ago and constantly rubs in the victory. And that doesn't just go for the MGK beef. M is still rubbing his beef from past victories now almost 2 decades ago. Let it go, buddy. You're the biggest artist of all time. You're white and you're rich. You don't have any struggles in your life at all.
Oh, but he's just rapping for fun. He's just having fun with the music.
This goes into the past 2 points I made. You can have fun rapping and still put out top shelf stuff. Look at Lupe Fiasco, for example. He recorded his new album, which is one of his best and one of the best of this year, in 3 days on GarageBand with a USB mic, while still freestyling great written songs in the process. He doesn't sound rusty and tired every release trying to rehash a moment. He's not trying to dip into his past, he's creating something he knows will have a legacy. Something he knows will push the culture forward. I'm trying to point out the hypocrisy here. You cannot say you make bad lines for fun and then simultaneously get mad when people and critics point it out. You can't admit defeat on one song and then talk about how you're better than you've ever been on the next. On your worst album, come on. These flows are some of the worst I've ever heard. Slim Jesus flows better on a beat. Jack Harlow... Oh, okay, I don't know if I want to go that far.
No, but you see, he's criticizing the new generation. It's a parody.
I don't know if you knew this. Parody can be bad. Sometimes being a parody does not automatically give a pass to criticism. If anything, I would take off more points for being unoriginal. Seriously, you couldn't come up with something on your own? You couldn't make your own thing? I don't want to hear Eminem doing the Gucci Gang flow. I don't want to hear him doing the Migos flow. I don't want to hear him rapping about how he doesn't like people who've made better music than him. There's a disconnect in his music. He tries to appeal to kids and younger people, as well as older people, older audiences, trying different flows and fast rapping over trap beats. But if anything, this just exemplifies the disconnect even more. And nothing at all shows this more than the production and the beat choice he uses. Eminem has always had issues choosing production that actually sounds good to rhyme over, but everything revival and post-revival is pretty bad, like straight up terrible. The beat for Nat sounds like someone tried to gentrify trap music. Stop it. Oh lord, and don't even get me started on his hooks, dear god. They're just awful. It's either going to be Skylar Grey, a terrible singer no one really cares about besides Eminem himself, Ed Sheeran, or Eminem himself with vocal effects that make you want to off yourself. Play the hook from Nice Guy. If anything, Eminem has a lot of influence, both good and bad, and more than people want to admit. Let's get the good out of the way. I'll give him his flowers while he's here, even if it's just this, which is indirect. Eminem has influenced some of the best minds in hip-hop, including, but not limited to, Rav, Aerospace, Logic, Kendrick, Big Sean, Grip, Jid, and Kenny Mason. Rav and Aerospace have been influenced by Eminem at least in delivery and vocal inflection towards the beginning of their careers until they really found their sound and voice. Listen to Aerospace's early stuff and listen to Vicodin by Rav. Tell me that Rav's lyrical content does not sound like an Eminem song. Logic's career is much like Eminem's. Great projects starting out worse and worse, and some really bad ones. Unfortunately, unlike Logic, Eminem cannot make a good project to save his life, nor will he retire. Kendrick and Big Sean I think are pretty simple. Big Sean was terrible starting out. It's only recently where his music has gotten acceptable, kind of like the reverse of Eminem's career. Grip, Jid, and Kenny Mason are fairly similar. They each were influenced by delivery, the speed, the vocal inflections, all of it. You can just hear it in the music. Now let's get into the bad rappers who were influenced by Eminem. Joyner Lucas. I think Joyner Lucas is not nearly as bad as the rest of the people I'm about to say, but he's still not good. ADHD took way too long to release, and at best there's maybe 2 good songs on it. Unacceptable. Vin J got popular for doing a mumble rapper versus lyrical rapper video, but God bless you if you've ever heard this man's music. That shit is terrible. Tom MacDonald, he wishes he was American. He cosplays a patriotic, racist, nationalist, fascist American while being Canadian. Pick a fucking struggle, loser. Adam Calhoun is a racist piece of shit who deserves nothing more than his name being slandered. Gone and Mac Lethal are forgettable at best. It's sad because Mac Lethal was good, or at least okay, early on in his career. His verse on that Cunning Linguist song was good. It's a shame to see him turn into what he has. And boy, Crypt is trash. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I respect that you lost your best friend, but don't talk about it the whole record. Don't get mad at people, most notably the Cornballs, shout out to them, for giving you valid criticism on a horrible album. Like, the music is still bad, regardless of any sort of intentions, it doesn't matter. And lastly, Dax. I really want to respect Dax. I know he's a bright dude who wants to be positive, but bro, the music you make is bad. You pay Rap TV for promos, and everyone in the comments always clowns you for it. You attempt to start beef with someone known in the streets, and then get upset when he tries to check you for it. Don't get confused, I hate Tory Lanez as well, but we're out of your league. Overall, I'm not a fan of Eminem, but of course you picked up on that. I'm disappointed he keeps putting out bad material every other year, and his army of idiots runs to defend him 24/7 online and in real life. The stands of anything usually ruin it for me, but I just can't take his. He has one of the largest armies of annoying and obnoxious stands that go anywhere and complain whether you like him because, oh, you don't like him enough, or, oh, you don't like him because you're retarded. I think what I want to see Eminem do is work on an album with one producer. It can't be Dr. Dre or Rick Rubin. No more. It has to be DJ Premier, The Alchemist, or hell, maybe Flying Lotus, or even some crazy shit like Working on Dying. Get someone who's a great executive producer and curator to keep you in check from dropping trash songs. Get a Westside Gun, Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes to executive produce and curate your project. I know they won't let you drop trash. If these people, these rappers you want to impress, if they were in the room, would you drop terrible lines like you do? And God, stop doing the hooks. Get people like Action Bronson, Danny Brown, Richie with a T, anyone to do the hook. If you have to even have a hook. You want to impress these rapidy rappers, but you don't make rap albums. You make albums to appeal to every section of your demographic. The kids, the people who want to listen to the radio, the people who think you're the best rapper ever. Stop focusing on every aspect of the fan base, because if the fan base really likes you, they'll like anything you make. They already like that. They like your trash. Just make something good. Of course, his ego is so overinflated at this point. I don't think he'll create something that anyone who's really a hip-hop head would fully enjoy all the way through ever again. At this point, he's over 25 years into his career. It's been a good run for him. He became the biggest star ever, dropped a lot of music. It's been a long run, but I think what he honestly needs to do is just retire. I don't want to hear your NFT song. I don't care about Curtain Call 2. I don't care about you making any more music now, because you decided it would be a good idea to tarnish your legacy. Just call it quits here, bud. You need to give up. Set your pride aside and retire. That was a lot, huh? Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos right up here in the corner. They're doing pretty well. Have a good day, fellas.